You know, we hear it all the time. India's economy is booming. It's like a super fast train racing ahead. We see development everywhere, shiny new infrastructure, and we hear all this talk about shining India. But today, we're not just going to look at the train from the outside. We're going to go straight into the engine room to see who's actually shoveling the coal, who's putting in the fuel.
So the question is pretty simple, right? If the Indian economy really is a rocket shooting for the stars, then what, or rather who, is its real fuel? What's the force that's actually powering this incredible journey? Let's break down this source material and find out together.
All right, let's get into it. First up, let's talk about the story we're all familiar with, the one we're usually told. We're made to believe that this massive economic engine is run by three major players. Player number one, the primary sector. Think of this as the very foundation of our economy. Everything that comes from the land, agriculture, mining, fishing, it all starts right here. This sector feeds the nation and provides the raw materials for all other industries. Super important.
So once we have the raw materials from the ground, what's next? Well, that's where player number two comes in, the secondary sector. This is where we take those raw materials and turn them into useful things. Giant factories, the whole Make in India vision, roads, buildings, everything that's being built, it's all thanks to this sector. And finally, we have player number three, the one that's been a total game changer, the tertiary or services sector. This is the poster child of modern India, you could say. IT hubs, banking, transport, doctors, teachers, they all provide services. And this is the sector that's really driving our dream of becoming a global power.
Primary, secondary, tertiary. It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? And yeah, that's the story of shining India. But wait, hold on a second. The story isn't over yet. There's a hidden truth, one that often gets lost behind all these glossy pictures. Because this is an incomplete story. The real story, the one we need to talk about, is hidden inside the structure of these various sectors.
So what is the real story? It's this number. Just look at this. A staggering 93% of our entire workforce, and let me repeat that, 93% works in what's called the unorganized sector. Only a tiny 7% are part of the organized sector.
So what even is this unorganized sector? Well, in the simplest terms, it's any job where you don't get a regular salary, paid leave, getting paid even when you take a day off, or any kind of social security like a provident fund. Think about it like this. Your office job is organized, but the person selling vegetables on the street corner or the laborer working at a construction site, they're in the unorganized sector. And this difference, it's like night and day. In the organized sector, there's job security. In the unorganized, there's none. In the organized sector, you get paid leave. In the unorganized, it's simple. No work, no pay. You have a safety net of social security in the organized sector. But for someone in the unorganized sector, if they fall sick, their entire income for that period is just gone.
And that 93% isn't just a statistic. It translates to 836 million people. 836 million human beings who, according to this report, are poor and vulnerable and have been largely bypassed by the country's growth. To put that in perspective, that's more than the entire population of the United States and Europe combined.
So what does it actually feel like to live without this safety net? What's the ground reality for this 93%? Let's start with the people who grow our food, the agricultural laborers. They are the backbone of our country's food security. But ironically, their own lives have zero security. There's no guarantee of work. They face extreme poverty and constant exploitation. And of course, no social security cover. And what about the cities? Check this out. This quote is straight from the report. In some cities, street vending is a non-bailable offense. Just imagine that for a second. A person who is just trying to earn a living by putting up a small cart could be accused of a crime for which they can't even get bail. That's what life without a safety net looks like.
Okay, let's take a quick pause and think moment here. Just look around your own neighborhood and try to think of 5 jobs that fall into the unorganized sector. For me, it's the person who delivers my newspaper every morning. What about you? Maybe the person who delivers milk, the presswala, the car cleaner, or the domestic help who works in your home. Let me know in the comments.
Now, within this story of the 93%, there's a special chapter dedicated to women. For them, the challenges are often doubled.
The report calls it the double burden of work. What does that mean? It means that women working in the unorganized sector don't just do their paid job. they also have to manage all the unpaid work at home, so they carry the burden of both production and reproduction. But the burden doesn't end there. Especially for women who are home workers, like those who stitch clothes or make beads from home, their already low earnings get cut even further by hidden costs. They have to pay for their own thread and needles, for their own equipment maintenance, for the electricity bill, and on top of all that, they often face delayed payments. It just chips away at whatever little they make.
So, is there a solution? Can this system be fixed? The good news is, the report doesn't just list problems. It also shows us a path forward. The report actually lays out a roadmap, a 4-step action plan. First, protective measures for all unorganized workers, so no one is left vulnerable. Second, a special package for small and marginal farmers, because they are the most at risk. Third, improve growth in the non-agricultural sector to reduce the burden on farming. And fourth, expand employment and improve people's skills so they can get better opportunities.
And within this plan, there's a big idea, NAFIS, which stands for National Fund for the Unorganized Sector. So what is it? Think of it like a special support system with one single goal, to give these workers easy access to credit, marketing support, and new technology. Basically, to give them all the tools they need to not just survive, but to actually thrive. So in the end, the question isn't whether growth is important or not. Of course, growth is absolutely necessary. The real question is, as the report puts it, what is the point of a growth story where 77% of the people, the country's poor and vulnerable, are left behind?